Justin, and today I'm going to show you how to pull a stock price from the web using an Excel worksheet change event. So we'll go to the VBA editor and we're going to select this sheet 1 object, go up here and put worksheet change. Okay, next add two references. The first one's going to be Microsoft HTML object library, and the second one's going to be Microsoft Internet Controls. Alright, next I'll dimensionalize some variables. Okay. Okay, so these first three variables, we define RNG as cell A1 in sheet 1, and ticker as the value of that range, and then we set IE equal to create object Internet Explorer application. So this is going to be our web browser. The next thing we'll do is we'll perform a conditional test on what's changed in the worksheet. So if target.row and target.column equal range.row and range.column, then we know that the target was cell A1. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to have the browser navigate to a web page. So we'll say ie.navigate. Okay. At this point, you're going to want to open a web browser, preferably Google Chrome, and go to some website where they're going to have stock price information. In this tutorial, I'll use Yahoo Finance, and I'm going to go in and just type in some ticker symbol. I'm going to take this address and I'm going to copy it. Then I'll go back to our VB editor and say ie.navigate, paste in the string, and so this address here, I'll go back to the browser, and you can see that FN is the ticker that I entered. If I enter in some other value, you can see that it goes to that page. So what we'll do is we'll remove this and we'll say S equals the string that they typed into cell A1. Okay. So what will happen is the browser will go to that web page, and while it's doing that, we want the procedure to wait. So we'll say do events, and we'll loop until ie.readystate equals readystate complete. Okay, so once it's gotten to that web page, we need to set our doc variable equal to ie.document. So doc represents the HTML text that defines that web page. Okay, so if we go back to the browser, you can see here is the price, and that's what we're after. So I'm going to right click and hit inspect element in Google Chrome, and it's going to take me to that where that element's defined in the HTML document. I can see the ID is YFS L84 and then the ticker. And then the text here, the value of that ID is our price. So using that information, we'll go back to the VB editor and we'll say quote equals doc.getElement by ID. And we know the ID as YFS L84, and then the ticker, which we want to make that dynamic in a sense, and then enter text. Okay, so the last thing we'll do is we'll say cells row 1 column 2 dot value equals quote. And that's going to be the price. Okay, now we'll end the if. And the last thing you're going to want to do is have the browser quit. If you don't, it's going to continue to run background processes and take up quite a bit of RAM. And each time you run this, you'll keep creating these browsers, and it'll slow your computer down. Alright, so now let's go back to Excel, and here we're at sheet 1, cell A1. We'll type in some ticker symbol, and hit enter, and see if it works. So as you can see, a price is displayed. So if I go back to the browser and enter in that quote, you can see 4811. Well, it changed, but we have our price. So that's pretty much it. The last thing I'll go over with you, if you want to stick around, is something important, and that's error handling. Okay, so as you can see, our workbook is going to continue to bring in a price, you know, as long as the user types in a ticker symbol that exists. You know, but one thing, whenever you're developing or doing any type of programming, is you have to consider what people might do to cause your code to break, especially if you're developing something that's not, you aren't going to be the primary user. So say you're at work and you're creating this for someone else to use, and you know they get a hold of it and it works just fine, and then one day they type in you know, some ticker symbol that doesn't work, a typo or whatever. The next thing they're going to see is this error message displayed. Okay, so you know they're going to give you a phone call, you know, stop by your desk, you know, hey, it's not working, you're going to have to stop what you're doing, go take a look at it, you know, and figure out what went wrong, and then fix it. So it's always good to kind of think about those things before you call it the application ready. Okay, so here, if I hit debug, I see, you see we're taken to the line of code where the error occurred. So what we'll do is we'll create an error handler. So I'm going to say on error, go to handler. And handler is really arbitrary. It's just going to be like a line ID in our procedure. So I'm going to say exit sub, so that when the code runs normally, it won't process any of these lines after exit sub. However, if it errors out, it's going to go to line 27 here that we call handler. And be sure whenever you put this in to put a colon there. So here, you know, what we'll do is we'll just give the user a message box. We'll say, okay, and we'll just let them know that what they entered didn't work. Okay. Okay, so the message box will be displayed, and then we'll have the Internet Explorer application quit. And then lastly, here below this line, I'm going to say on error, go to 0. And the reason I do that is because let's say that this isn't the only thing happening in your application. Let's say you have lines, way down here, and some error occurs that's completely unrelated to this ticker statement or value. The application will still go to handler. Whenever an error occurs, it'll go back here and display this message, even though the error might be completely unrelated. So you always want to kind of close it out and say, all right, on error go to 0, so that any other error, that happens below here, it's going to go to this line, and it'll display that message, the Microsoft runtime error message. Okay. Okay. So now you can see if we're back at the spreadsheet, the user interface, and I type in some ticker symbol that's probably not valid, you can see here is our message box that's displayed. So they'll see this, and realize what happened and what went wrong, and they don't have to deal with any of the code. They don't have to know anything about it. They just go back and type in the right ticker, and there it is, and you move on as normal. So I hope you found this helpful, and thanks for watching.